Sagar, an island in the Ganges Delta. A holy pilgrimage destination for millions of people. An island losing its land to the sea due to high river currents and sea level rise. To address the growing concerns of this island, the National Centre for Sustainable Coastal Management, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has prepared an integrated coastal zone management plan for Sagar Island with the support from the State Project Management Unit, West Bengal and the World Bank. On 14th of January 2019, the Makar Sankranti celebrations had a large congregation of nearly 3 million people on Sagar Island. Besides the resident population of over 200,000 people. The only mode of transport to and from the island is by ferries. And the government of West Bengal ensured adequate safety and frequency for transport of people to the island. Sagar Island covers an area of 224 square kilometers with 43 villages. The island has mangroves on the east and west coast and mud flats on the west coast. The mud flats are rich in biodiversity. The island is located over 100 kilometers from the city of Kolkata and linked to the mainland by a ferry system, which is dependent on tidal patterns. This lack of connectivity to the mainland has been a long-standing grievance of local people, significantly limiting the livelihood opportunities for the islanders. Sagar Island is largely rural, with agriculture, betel leaf plantation, fishing and religious tourism being the main sources of livelihood. However, the growing pressures of tourism have led to the generation of solid wastes, including plastic and sewage in the island, degrading natural resources. Agriculture, the primary livelihood, is adversely affected by the lack of sufficient fresh water for irrigation, thus preventing rotation of crops. The islanders cultivate salt-tolerant rice variety and vegetables as an alternative. Lack of livelihood opportunities has resulted in seasonal migration of the islanders. To address the multiple issues in the island, 7 sectoral management plans such as shoreline, conservation, disaster, pollution, water resources, livelihood and tourism have been intertwined to develop an integrated coastal zone management plan. Primary field surveys were undertaken to establish environmental baselines and to understand the present state of the coast. Sagar Island is highly prone to shoreline erosion, and surveys to assess existing coastal protection were undertaken. Based on field surveys and historic satellite imagery, nearly 57% of Sagar Island is found to experience severe erosion. The administration has constructed revetments at critical areas to control erosion, but these measures may not be environmentally sustainable in the long term. Recent observations indicate severe erosion along the coast of Sipur. Living coastlines or green coastal infrastructures, an environment-friendly alternative is proposed here. The proposed living shoreline is a convex structure consisting mainly of geotube with revetment that are seeded with oyster shells. Consequently, natural colonization of oysters and mussels will occur on the structure, providing an ecosystem for growth of subaquatic vegetation, attracting fishes and other marine organisms. Between the convex structure and the current coastline, which is now reclaimed, plantation of 3 tiers of coastal vegetation is proposed. The coastal area of Sagar is lined with ecologically sensitive areas, ESA, like mangroves, salt marsh, sand dunes, mud flats that support coastal biodiversity. ESAs need to be conserved and protected from the impacts of developmental activities through community participation and capacity building. Sagar Island experiences seasonal cyclones and storm surges. Interventions and adaptation strategies for mitigating the impact are suggested in the Disaster Management Plan. Multi-purpose cyclone shelters play the dual role of protection and as centers of community interaction. Regular training programs on disaster preparedness help in greater community resilience and adaptation. The government has also resorted to plantation of casuarina as a coastal bioshield. With nearly 3 million visitors each year, waste management has been a challenging task for the administration. The administration geared itself with extensive facilities for sanitation and waste collection. Despite these efforts, the fragile island, breaching all environmental thresholds, was littered with a huge amount of waste to deal with. An integrated waste management program focusing on composting and recycling was suggested for the island and is already in the process of implementation. Detailed surveys on coastal water quality have been carried out to identify the zones of nutrient enrichment pollution for suggesting appropriate site-specific interventions. The beaches of the island are cleaned regularly and Sagar Island is declared as a plastic-free zone. However, presence of plastics in beaches and microplastics particles in coastal waters and beaches was confirmed through extensive field studies. Sustainable management of water resources is crucial as it is associated with both potable water and irrigation. Need of community awareness programs, rainwater harvesting, water reservoirs were emphasized in the Water Resource Management Plan for the island. The electrification of Sagar Island has been a major step in reduction of carbon footprint and protecting the island environment as it has minimized the use of diesel generators. Electrification of the island has further encouraged tourism and has enhanced livelihood status of the islanders. Betel leaf cultivation is a dominant livelihood in the island, which is undertaken by the locals as a major income generation activity. Promotion of self-help groups has helped in livelihood diversification in multiple sectors under the ICZM project. Efforts are clearly underway to encourage ecotourism in the form of tourism circuits. Creating market spaces, infrastructure, and community-based tourism are recommended to expand ecotourism in the island. ICZM has further explored the seascape to identify opportunities through marine spatial planning. Integrated coastal zone management is a powerful tool for planners and policymakers by providing a strong scientific basis to resolve emerging coastal issues comprehensively. With such measures, it is expected that the people of Sagar Island would benefit from the interventions for a better and secure future.